Last March, when we started learning about all these apps and software and web tools and things, I was a little overwhelmed, but I tried almost all of them that we had in the program, at least a little bit, to see if it was even possible to use them in the classes.
So you just have little 1 minute, you want to do this very specific thing, here's the video for it.
I just figured if I make up a little movie that they'd be able to find the audio file or something like that. It's more how to get into the program, how to get around the program, because it's not very clear, especially if you don't have English as a first language.
I made dozens of them, and so I just put them on my Blackboard site, and students who have calculator questions, well, here's a little video.
We're going to do something called team teaching, and we're going to use a lot of technology, okay? I'm going to start off first by introducing you, those of you that don't know, to UVU, and we have a multitude of students that are going to call in. In fact, some of them are already online. And UVU, you can add 12 people to UVU at the same time. I can also bring up her PowerPoint presentation on UVU, which I'll do right now. I'll bring it up on UVU, and students can actually see her PowerPoint presentation.
And I said, okay, I can just stand here and talk while I'm making a movie. Put it in movie mode. So I'm making a movie. Here I'm making a movie. I'm actually pushing the buttons as I'm talking. I stop the movie. It's done. Okay, so instead of the hours and hours and hours, I have seconds. It's already closed caption, see? There it is. But, you know, I'm standing here and I'm shaking and I'm trying to read this and I'm trying to push the buttons, and so, this isn't really good. I came up with a high-tech solution. Here it is. So if I put this here, and I put this here.
We need one of those.
I can be looking at the buttons I'm pushing. My hand is underneath here, and you don't even see the still in the video.
I prefer the turning technologies anywhere where you just plop one of these up, and it doesn't matter what you're projecting here. So you could have a picture of a rock if you're a geologist and still have a question, the polling software on top of that picture. For me, this is useful to see how many students are getting things and where we're having problems. Here, half the class did not know the answer to the particular question, which is something we want to investigate, find out why not, and talk about the answers. It's a way to see if the students are doing homework, because these questions are not things you can just answer on the fly. They really take time to work out. The students are very engaged with them. I notice they're much more focused on what's happening at the front of the class when they're using the clickers. And then there are the opportunities to do things like group work or pair answering, have them come up with answers.
What problems we do have, and I just have to throw this out, is here in the CAT building, you have everything imaginable. I mean, there's everything imaginable over here. But in Bladen, we really sort of lack this type of technology over here. These screens are fabulous for projecting, etc. We don't have as many. In fact, we have no power strips like this. We really need this technology in Bladen as well. I use a lot of wireless technology. Just to let you know, so I usually have my Bluetooth in my ear. I have Bluetooth wireless, so I do a lot of things like that.
The way I use this is usually on my online classes. because I don't see them. But I can Google with them, and I can show them whatever homework assignment that they're having difficulty with. We can go through that, and we can talk by using the software.
So this is our opportunity to hop back and forth to cover a myriad of topics within a 1 hour or 2 hour or 3 hour period.
If I'm in the classroom with students, I can just, write on the board or whatever if they have questions. On an online class, you can't do that. So what I was doing was I was writing it out on a piece of paper, scanning it, saving it as a PDF, putting it on the Blackboard site. So, GoodNotes is the package that I'm using, and I can write whatever I need to, and then export it, and save it into Dropbox, and put it on the cloud, and put it wherever I need to go. Another package that I found, that Lorna found for me actually, is called MathPad, and so if I do the same thing, it typesets it for me, which is really, really cool.
All right, my other thing that I'm into with the iPad is I annotate. I use this for correcting student work. This is a draft of a student's writing on something in Bangladesh, on the dowry system in Bangladesh. So what I really liked about it was the ability to use the stylus as a traditional marker. You see my markings up there for agreement and fragments and the number, everything like that. It's very easy to use. This one feature here of using this feather, let's say, I don't know, I'm just going to underline something even if it's correct. It allows you to really zero in and get more precise, which in the past was always a big thing for me using electronic grading programs. The stylus or your finger was too big and you couldn't really write or really indicate like you would on paper. So that certainly is a benefit. And then, of course, you can give type text for the global things that you're addressing about whether they've addressed the thesis statement or things like that.
My stylus has a little tiny fine point. It's got a nub on it, but it's got a little tiny fine point so that you can write small things. They actually market this for artists so that you can draw finely instead of the big eraser type. So I love my stylus too.
In addition to Uvo, we're also going to mirror not one, but 2 iPads at the same time. Additionally, Pam is going to disseminate her PowerPoint presentation. I am going to follow online. I'm going to be online. I'm going to follow her. I'm going to go to live websites.
So the first day of class, during their icebreakers, I took pictures of the students. I, of course, said if you don't want your picture taken, you don't have to have it taken. Some students didn't care. Others said, could we take it Wednesday? I'm going to get my hair done tomorrow. And I was like, well, we can do that. I don't use this for attendance. What I found that this doesn't work for me to mark off attendance for students. I'm using the iPad for something else and going back and forth between the two. It just interrupts the flow of the class. This, however, is also good. Well, first of all, for learning students' names at the beginning of the year, it's such a big help because if you have 80, 90 students, and before class, if you can just kind of do a quick overview in your office, it really does make that happen more quickly. That, and then finally, when it comes time for tests, sometimes I don't want 2 particular students sitting next to each other, and I can make up my own chart here of who should be sitting next to whom. Quizlet is the program that's online for making flashcards. And so I've made up about 30 or 40 of these for different lessons between each of the 2 courses. So here they have a list. This is the intermediate list. They have the words here. Anyway, they hear the word and then fill it in, which no other program does. And then there is a small test on it, and then different games like the scatter game and a race game. It's good. I mean, I really like what they do here. Here, in this case, we're trying to recall. We're trying to get them to pull up the vocabulary we're working on in the classroom when we move to the lab. So they type in their answer, And then after they're done, check, you get your score. However, I've noticed that even if students get 95 or 85 or something, they want to do it again. They want to see the 100 come up, and these are not linked to their Blackboard scores, but they can be. Like the clickers, I've used them so much they've become very natural. In the beginning it was very, I don't know, fumbly. And the students seem to be very engaged on task with what's going on. They're asking questions more. There's no one who's just sitting there looking in the book. And I think that's what I like about the clickers. People are always looking for answers here when we're going through textbook answers. And that kind of brings everybody really on the same page, literally on the same page.